We'll see how that actually goes. Anyway, as it says in the title of this one, the focus here is on this question. What is leadership? Because that's a question I actually get asked all the time. What is leadership? It seems to be a bit of a challenge for people to even understand that they might be leaders. Because we tend to think of leadership as being very much about a title, that somebody has a title, therefore they're a leader. You know, the Prime Minister of Canada is a leader. The person who is the head of the ministry of whatever it is a leader. The CEO is a leader. The whatever it is a leader, right? But no, leadership is actually much more than those titles. So that's the question. What is leadership is the first question. And this is the first in a series of pieces I'm going to be doing on answering that question by saying what leadership is. And I'm going to do my very best to break it down into the theories, the different leadership theories, into the skill sets, into the qualities and the characteristics of what a leader is. So this is going to be a whole series I'm going to do on these, so that it tries to keep it as clean and clear as possible for you to actually understand what it takes to be a leader, professionally and personally. So let's start off by telling you, if you've just jumped in or you've never heard me before and you're wondering who this idiot is who's rambling in the background, my name is Dov Barron. I'm the founder of Full Monty Leadership, and I am an international business advisor and speaker, graced and blessed to be named as one of Inc. magazine's top 100 leadership speakers in the world. Today I mentor leaders just like you and high-level entrepreneurs in a whole array of different backgrounds, and I'm very honored to do that and to serve in that way that I serve. Of course, I'm also on Twitter, and you can follow me there at @TheDovBaron. You can follow me on LinkedIn and connect with me there. Love to have you there. And of course, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Dov Barron Full Monty Leadership. Get on that YouTube channel, and we promote and we produce new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. And of course, this is my blog again at Dov Barron. Full Monty Leadership is there too. So, and also a podcast. Goodness, I got a lot of shit going on. A podcast on iTunes and on Podomatic. You can find the on iTunes simply by searching Dov Barron Full Monty Leadership. All right, so that's the stuff. That's where you'll find us. And if you've jumped in and I didn't see you, give us another thumbs up, give us another heart, hit the share button. I really appreciate that. I see that Kevin has shared. Thank you very much, Kevin. That's good. Thank you very much. If you jumped in, give us a thumbs up, give us the hi, all those things, and share. All right, I'm going to jump in. Whoops. Oh, that was Lindsay. Good to see you, Lindsay. Nice to have you on. So I'm going to share because I want to talk about this question of what is leadership, and moreover, the different components of leadership. So the one I want to talk about today is that leadership, real leadership, is compassion. It's a thing that really doesn't seem to naturally be a part of leadership because of the way we've traditionally believed leadership to be. In that leadership has been authoritarian, it has been dictatorial, it has not been compassionate at all. In fact, compassion would have been seen for many years and maybe even decades as a weakness in leadership. But in fact, I want to put it to you that compassion is an essential part of true, authentic leadership. And that's leadership in your own personal life and leadership when leading others. Compassion. So let's jump into that. Let's jump into what compassion is. Because I think each of these words, each of these pieces in this series that I'm going to do on what is leadership and what leadership is, every time I break it down, we're going to get to a word. And that word, like in this case compassion, of course has a subjective meaning. What that means is that compassion is going to mean one thing to me and another thing to you. So we're going to have to come to this sort of common ground about what a particular word means, right? So I want to just break it down for you so you can understand where I'm coming from with the term compassion. Compassion, three separate words. Let's just go to the three separate words. So the first word is sympathy. The second word is empathy. and the third word is compassion. And I want you to grasp that there is a grand difference between those things. First of all, I want to start with that first word, which was sympathy. Sympathy is not compassion. In fact, I would put it to you, get my coffee, that sympathy is disempowering. Sympathy, when you have sympathy for somebody, they go through something and you there them, you say, oh, you poor dear, there. And you actually feed into this sense of that they're a victim of something, and it supports that and allows them to stay in that place. There is nothing empowering about sympathy. You're not looking to be sympathetic because you're not looking to disempower people. You're looking to empower people, particularly as a leader, whether that's a personal leader, or whether that's a leader of others in your family, in your business, in your organization, in your whatever it is, your civil group, whatever it is. So let's get rid of sympathy. Let's remove that right out of the bat. Let's get rid of sympathy altogether. Sympathy disempowers. It simply says, it's a shame that you are stuck in this place. It's a shame that this happened to you, and that's unfortunate, but we understand that you're stuck in that place, or I understand that you're stuck in that place. That's sympathy. Again, disempowered. Having pity for another. And I don't want to pity anybody because that makes me better than them and assumes that they're less than me, and that's not leadership at all. So now let's look at the second word, and the second word here that we're looking at is empathy. So the first word we had was sympathy, it's disempowering. Empathy. Now I want to put it to you that empathy is a misunderstood word because empathy is actually passive. It's a wonderful thing, you need it, we all need it, and if you're going to be a great leader, you're definitely going to need empathy. But I want you to grasp that it's actually that empathy is passive. So I love the Dalai Lama's explanation of empathy and compassion. And the way he describes empathy is this, is that you're walking through the forest and you see a person with a big boulder on their chest. And in empathy, you lie down next to them and you feel for them. You feel what it's like to have that boulder on your chest. You feel the pressure of it. You feel how incredibly painful it must be to have that boulder on your chest. Whether that boulder is literally a physical boulder or whether that's the emotional boulder of something that somebody's going through. Having compassion in the Native American analogy is to walk a mile in somebody's moccasins, to put yourself in their position, to have a sense, a feeling of what it would be like. But it's passive. You get to understand what it's like. You get to share that you get where they're coming from, but it's still passive. There's no active part in it. And as the Dalai Lama said, compassion is different. Compassion is that you go through the forest, you see the man with the boulder on his chest, you lay down and you feel what it's like, what it would be like to have that boulder on your chest, and you feel the immense weight and pain and pressure of that boulder on your chest. And then you have compassion by getting up, offering to help, offering to assist the person in removing the boulder, and then doing something to remove the boulder. So, sympathy, disempowering. Empathy, passive. Compassion, active. So, if you're going to be a great leader, you've got to have compassion. You've got to be willing to be compassionate. Now, here's the distinction, and this is where it gets important, is understanding that in empathy, again, it is passive, but compassion is active. And if compassion is active, then it's necessary to have permission. So, compassion requires me to get your permission to be of assistance. Because some people, just in case you don't know, some people really enjoy their shit. They enjoy being in that place where they do feel stuck. They're enjoying the boulder on their chest. They'll never admit that, but they certainly don't want any help. They want to stay in the place that they are. So empathy is this Empathy is this passive place where you go to first so you get a feel of them, but then if you want to move into a compassionate place, you have to ask permission. You have to say, would you like my assistance? Can I assist you in this? Are you willing to have me assist you in this? And if you get that, then you can take an active part and be compassionate in action. You can take your compassion to action. So really, compassion is empathy in action. It's the willingness to do something about it. But again, not from a place of disempowerment, but from a place of empowerment by having this person say, yes, I need your assistance. Now, stepping into that assistance is not from a place of, I'm better than you so I can help you, but rather that I am empathetic first. I've been you. I feel what it's like to be in your place. That's why I can assist. That's the commitment to being compassionate. So sympathy, disempowering. Empathy is passive. Compassion comes with permission. Compassion comes out of the empathy because it is, when we are in the egoic place in the world, and we all live in this world and we all have grown up with a conditioning to be somewhat egoic, and meaning self-preserving, it's very easy to operate in the world from a place of I. You know, it's all about me and my survival and how I'm going to be okay. It's very much an I situation. But in a place of empathy and compassion, it's a place of we. And so it's we understand each other, that we can go to the same place as each other. It's that I and you are not separate from each other. This is a vital piece for you to understand, that if you're going to be a compassionate leader, if you're going to really jump in and have the level of compassion that we're talking about, you have to start with empathy, then you go to permission, and then you go to compassion, because it's no longer I, it's we. So that is actually it. That is all I wanted to share with you about what is leadership. Leadership is compassion. This is the first in the series on what is leadership. Leadership is, and today it's compassion. So I want to hear from you. Let's have a look what you have to say. You can give me the feedback. And I want to just say, as I go back and do all that, you can put your notes in. I'm going to just chat for a minute while you put in your own feelings, your own sense of what it is that I just shared with you, and how it fits for you in the context of leadership, whether it's personal, whether it's relational, whether it's professional or organizational. You can put your feedback in there, and of course, if it was valuable to you, give me the hearts, give me the thumbs up, give me the smiley faces, and certainly hit the share. Let's share the wealth with everybody else. And then I'm going to go back and read what it is you had to say. And in case you're wondering again who I am, my name is Dov Baron, Full Monty Leadership. You can track me and follow me on Twitter, on LinkedIn, here on Facebook at Dov Baron Leadership. Get over to that page there and hit notifications, and you'll get the notifications every time I go live. And share the show with everybody you know, because that's important too. And let's have a look at what you've got to say. Let's have a look up here. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Got to scroll back a bit. Thank you for your comments. Really appreciate it. Thanks for those hearts and thumbs that are coming in. That's good. All right. Let's see who's there. Well, we said Christy was there. Jeff shared. Thank you very much. Ernie came in. That's good. Kevin says, love the Dove. Thank you very much. Lindsay, hi. Hi to you, love. Let's have a look here. Boom. Yeah, sometimes you get knocked out, and if you come back in, do the thumbs up again, because if you left and you come back, it's important to share again if you shared first time. Alex came in. Good to see you, Alex. And Kevin, empathy, feeling with. Compassion, feeling for. Lindsay says, let's have a look what Lindsay says. She's written something a little bit longer, which is great. Compassion, yes. It's not about us, it's always about them, their needs, and how we as leaders can best serve. Absolutely. It's about really seeing, hearing, and feeling others, indeed. Feeling others, and then holding that and seeking ways to support them in realizing their own power. See, that is it. You got it there, Linz. It's about the compassion piece is not about how I can save you or how I can fix you, but much rather about how I can remind you and bring you back to your own natural state of power. That's where your juice is. As a compassionate leader, I want to bring you back to an empowered place. If I'm approaching you with sympathy, I'm bringing you back to a weakened place. If I'm in empathy, it's a passive place. But in a compassionate place, I'm bringing you back to remind you of your power. So absolutely, well said. Great stuff, Lindsay. Kevin says empathy is passive, compassion is active. Love that. Fabulous. Lindsay says asking their permission again. Yes, it's not for us to presume that they want to change. This is such a big trap for many people who are leaders in the help field, in the personal development, healing, therapist, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, whatever kind of therapist is this presumption that people want your help. That's a false presumption, and it's a trap, and it's an egoic trap, by the way, so get off it. Lindsay goes on to say it's also not to become attached to any outcome. It's always up to them. Yeah, and that's another trap. You see, we tend to think that my outcome is the best outcome. I know better than you. No. Whatever it is that you need. And sometimes what you need I can't offer you, because what you need, or what you think you need at least, is sympathy, and you're certainly not going to be getting that from Dove. But if that's what you want, that's great. There are others who will provide that for you. Lindsay goes on to say, I hold compassion while also letting go of any outcome. I trust we all have free will, and personal timing is always personal. You got it. Kevin says, is empathy still an egoic state then? Because it is passive, it is still about I. No. It's a good question though, Kevin. I don't see empathy as an egoic state. I think anything, by the way, can come from an egoic place. You can approach things egoically, because if you're doing it to make yourself look good and to impress other people, well, that's ego, sure. But no, that's not where I'm coming from with this. I think that I think that empathy is not so much a passive place at all. Is a passive place, but it's not an egoic place, because it's actually not about I. It's about my willingness to feel what you're feeling, my willingness to get inside of your state of being, to understand where you're coming from, to get a glance through your lenses of how you see, feel, hear, and experience the world. So I would say no, that that empathy is not even though it's a passive state, it is not an egoic state. All right, that's it for me on this particular one. Wanted to give you this one and tell you that I'm probably going to do it pretty soon, because I'm getting quite cold. I've decided I am going to do it, but I'm going to do another video, and I'm going to start a whole nother series, and that other series is about men. Got to tell you that I'm having so many conversations and realizing that men are in some big fucking trouble, and I really want to do something about it. So I'm going to start a whole series on men, and I hope that you'll join me for that. And I'm going to come back in a very few minutes and do a whole other video on men, and I hope you'll find it valuable and interesting and all the rest of it. Meanwhile, I would ask that you please go out and share this video with your friends, your fans, your followers. And if you want to find out more about me, of course, Dove Baron, Full Monty Leadership, I'm always there. And the blog is there, and the videos are there, and all kinds of great stuff is there. And hey, remember, get yourself over to the Matrix, matrix.fullmontyleadership. Go, you put yourself through that self-assessment, discover your strengths and weaknesses in leadership. All right, till next time, stay curious, my friends. Stay curious about how you can have greater levels of compassion as a leader. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for sharing the show with everybody that you know. Till next time, this is Dove Baron, and I am out.